In a city where silence was the loudest sound, a 15-year-old boy named Laith wandered through the skeletal remains of streets. A gentle rain fell, tracing paths down the gray, forgotten buildings, but he felt nothing. Not the cold, not the dampness, just a hollow echo of loneliness that mirrored the empty city around him. Everything seems broken, he thought. The city, maybe even me. His feet carried him past what was once a garden, now a graveyard of cracked stones and tangled weeds. But amidst the decay, a splash of color caught his eye. A single small flower pushing its way through the cracks, its petals glistening with raindrops like tiny, defiant jewels. He stopped, his breath catching in his throat. He had seen flowers before, but not like this. Not here. Drawn by an invisible thread. Laith approached it, sinking down onto the curb beside this tiny miracle. He reached out, his finger hovering just above a delicate petal. "How?" he whispered to the silence. "How did you manage to grow here, among all this ruin?" And in the hush that followed, it was as if the flower whispered back, a silent answer carried on the damp air. Even in the harshest conditions, life finds a way. A smile, faint but real, touched Laith's lips for the first time in what felt like an eternity. He couldn't leave it here. Gently he scooped the flower, earth and all, and carried it back to his small room in an old creaking house. He found a small cracked pot and carefully replanted his newfound friend, placing it on the windowsill where it could catch the pale morning light. That small pot on the windowsill became the center of Laith's world. Every morning, the first thing he did was check on his flower. He would give it a little water, carefully wipe dust from its leaves with a soft cloth and just watch it. Days turned into weeks, and as he tended to the flower, he felt a subtle shift within himself. A new feeling, quiet and persistent, was taking root in his own heart. "It's so small," he thought one afternoon, watching a new leaf unfurl. "But it's so strong. Maybe I can be like that too." He was learning a language he never knew existed, the language of patience. He understood that beautiful things, strong things, didn't just appear overnight. They needed time, they needed care, they needed someone to believe in them. Even when the path was difficult and full of challenges, his small flower was teaching him how to grow. Then came the storm. It wasn't just rain this time, but a furious, howling wind that rattled the old building to its core. The window frame groaned and shook, threatening to shatter. Laith's heart pounded as he watched his flower being whipped back and forth by the violent gusts. A few of its precious leaves were torn away and vanished into the tempest. He leaped into action, his mind clear and focused. He slammed the window shut, the latch clicking into place just as a particularly strong gust hit, making the glass tremble. He carefully moved the pot away from the window, shielding it with his own body. He looked down at the battered but still standing plant and whispered, "I won't let the wind defeat you, and I won't let it defeat me either." In that moment, protecting that small life, he felt his own strength surge. He was no longer just a boy lost in the ruins. He was a guardian, ready to face any storm, just like his flower. The storm passed, and the days that followed were calm. The flower, though it had lost a few leaves, began to grow with renewed vigor. Soon it bloomed, its vibrant colors a stark, beautiful contrast to the gray world outside. And as the flower blossomed, so did Laith. The quiet confidence it had instilled in him now shone from his eyes. He started looking beyond his windowsill, seeing the neighborhood not just as a ruin, but as a place that could be healed. He began small, cleaning the rubbish from the street in front of his building. He found other patches of forgotten earth and started tending to them, creating small gardens. He started talking to the few other children who lived nearby, encouraging them to play, to draw, to learn. A smile was now his constant companion. If one single flower can change this place, he thought, looking at the laughing children, Imagine what we can all do together." The old neighborhood began to breathe again. The gray sadness that had clung to the air for so long started to recede, replaced by splashes of color from new gardens and the bright sounds of laughter. The change was slow, but it was real. And on Leith's windowsill, the small flower that started it all continued to bloom, a constant living symbol of patience, of strength, and of the incredible beauty that can emerge from the harshest conditions. It served as a silent, powerful message. In the hardest places and in the most broken hearts, life can always find a way. Patience, care, and a little bit of faith in the small things, they really can create miracles. As the sun set, casting a warm glow over the transforming streets, Leith looked at his flower and whispered, "Life is beautiful, even when it begins in ruins."